Good morning.
Good morning out there. Happy Friday.
Welcome to another edition of
The D&D Friday Morning Live.
Ooh, very nice. D&D Friday Morning Live.
D&D Friday Morning Live.
We're excited to be here. Can't see the comments, so that's awesome.
What happened to the comments?
I'll find them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can find them.
Okay. Might want to shut that window before we start. I don't know. Is it too noisy?
Oh, well, I'll close it if it's too noisy.
Okay. You can let us know if it's too noisy.
Let's turn on some Instagram. All right, so Friday Morning Live. We're excited to be back.
We're excited to be here. Our second show since we've been back.
Second week? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been back 1 week, so we're moving into our second week of being back.
Excited to be here.
We're super excited.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Drew and I have been getting up. Well, we always get up early, but being up a little bit earlier than normal, would you say?
Yeah, I think, 5:15. 5:15.
5:15. Because we've been walking dogs, babysitting dogs. So we have a little house. What do you call it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Well, we're puppy sitting.
We are.
So we have a little puppy here that we're babysitting, so we've been getting up a little bit earlier so that we can get him a good walk in before the day starts. And so, but we kind of like it. We like being up a little bit earlier.
It's nice because, you know what I was thinking this morning is that there's not too many appointments or things that get in the way at 5 in the morning.
Right.
So you have your morning routine, you get up super early, the sun's just coming up, and doesn't seem like anything gets in the way.
Right.
Maybe things throughout the day or later on in the day get in your way, but nothing you can do that. Nothing really prevents that unless you don't sleep the night before, but you can still get up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking about that this morning when I was going on the walk, and I was like, it's bright and early, and nothing gets in this way. You know, I just thought that was cool because a lot of things throughout the day you want to do or plan to do, and then other things come up, but nothing comes up that early.
Yeah.
Everyone's sleeping.
Everyone's still sleeping, and that's what I kind of like about it is because you feel even so much more productive because I don't know what time the average person would get up, but I'm guessing 6:30 or 7. So you have this hour or so or more before anyone else is up, and you feel so much more productive because a lot of times we have our walk-in, we have our morning routine done, and then we can start on our business stuff, and most people are just getting up or just leaving to go to work, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's morning, Jane.
Hey, Mom.
That's not to say that those of you that are sleeping that early, there's anything wrong with that. Excuse me. There's anything wrong with it. It just makes us feel, for me, that's why I like to work on Saturdays. I like to work on the weekend because it makes me feel productive knowing that most people are taking time off.
I don't even notice when it's the weekend anymore. Teaching, when I'm teaching, of course I know when the weekend is, right? Because it's so scheduled and so routine to, and get excited about having the weekend off. But now it's just, don't even know what
every day is the same day.
Every day is the same day. Not to say we don't take breaks, it's just not as scheduled, I suppose. For example, we were working super hard the last 2 days getting our magnesium order shipped out. Really long days and long hours. And so much that we're like, do we eat? We better eat. So, did I go to the bathroom? Better go to the bathroom.
Shower?
Oh yeah, I forgot to shower one day. Drew's like, personal hygiene's important, Dorothy. Oh crap, gotta go shower. But anyway, so where was I going with that? Oh, so yesterday afternoon we took a few hours off in the afternoon yesterday and just kind of hung out and relaxed a bit. So not to say that we don't take breaks or we don't take some time to ourselves, but we just kind of work when we want to work.
It's pretty cool. Except, it's funny, there's this, those of you that are business owners, like Jane's a business owner, and Leo Building Supplies, I'm guessing that's Tina over here on Instagram. Business owners, we know a lot of business owners because we're business owners and we kind of tend to
stick together.
But there's this quote on Facebook, and it was this guy laughing. It was Diamond Dale. I suppose it doesn't matter. He was laughing, and he said, "I quit my day job so I could have more hours, so I could have more free time. I quit my day job and started my own business so I could have more free time.
Ha ha ha.
Which is pretty funny. Like as a business owner, you don't have free time. Like you don't take much time off. You're always working. You're always
thinking about the business.
If you're not
always working on it.
If you're not always working on it, you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
So you don't really get time off. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I never have worked so hard until I joined Drew in True Form in the entrepreneur world. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought that entrepreneurs get to like do what they want when they want, take time off when they want, free schedule. Oh, I got to plan my own. Like nobody's gonna tell me when to work because you're working all the live long day.
Oh my gosh. Dorothy's extra loud today.
Oopsie, sorry.
It's 6:30 here, and I'm pretty sure the neighbors are awake now.
Well, I asked you if you wanted to close the window.
Jane says hilarious, and then Tina's over here. She says so true. I think that's Tina. Yeah. So today we're talking about sleep and sugar cravings, and I think that's an important one because they are related, and magnesium is something that we've been talking about a lot about lately, and it can help with sleep. So we're not going to be talking about magnesium too much. It'll be one of our tips. But I think when you look at the two, a lot of times people don't put together sugar cravings and how we can fight them or beat them, and then sleep as a whole and how that affects our day-to-day lifestyle.
I think one of the biggest things with sleep patterns is that we get complacent that if we aren't a good sleeper, we get complacent that, I'm just not a good sleeper. That's just the way it is. But really, there are things that we can do to change that and improve our sleep if we take action. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning, is how you can make some changes and take action to actually improve your sleep yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And there are things that we can do. And I think we have to understand that we're in control of our own health. And a lot of times, I don't think we realize that. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, I think there's, like, menopause is a big thing for women. And it's a very touchy subject.
Why did you pause? Does it make you uncomfortable?
It's a very touchy subject. But I think that a lot of women are just, like, during their, like, menopausal state, like, when that comes in their life, they're like, oh, I don't sleep because it's menopause, or I don't sleep because of hormones, and I'm not saying that doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying, like, that's just a short snippet. For example, like some people say, like, oh, my whole family's heavy, for example, or my whole family has like heart disease, so I'm gonna get it too. Like, but there are things that we can do. Like, we can take action steps to improve our health and to prevent as a whole. So if we weren't so inclined to accept our situation, then we could be proactive and do something about it.
Yeah, I was like that. Like, I never understood the fact, years ago, I never understood the fact that I was in control of my own health. And I was one of those people who was complacent, right? Especially about my sleep patterns. I used to have horrible sleep. Like, I slept 5 hours, 4 hours a night. And, you drag yourself around in the day. But I just was complacent. Like, oh, I'm a bad sleeper. That's just the way it is. Until I took some action steps to improve that and change that. And I'd never realized that was in my power before.
Take your power back.
Take it back.
You should have detoxify yourself.
How's my glasses, by the way? Got these new glasses, and they're new lenses. And because we're on the computers a lot and things, they put this, like, blue kind of thing. I don't know what it was called, but it's supposed to protect your eyes from the lights of the screen and the lights, or the, like, filter a little bit from the damage of screens, so computers and phones. But now every time I'm seeing this blue, and
it's like purple.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that.
Let us know if you like the blue or purple. Chantel jumped over here on Instagram.
Hey, Chantel.
Then we have Lakma from Sri Lanka.
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for tuning in. And then we have
Sue. Good morning, Sue.
Morning, Sue. And then we have Suzanne as well.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Oh my gosh, we got a whole whack of people tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from, because we got people in New Brunswick, Sri Lanka, Olds, Ontario. Let us know where you're watching from.
Sue, where are you, Sue? I can't remember your can't remember Sue's town.
Okay.
It's blanking on me, Sue. So tell us, Sue, the name of your town. It's blanking on me.
Amber says they make your eyes look purple sometimes. I have it too.
Oh, do you have the blue one too?
It's purple.
Purple. Well,
Is it blue or purple?
Well, they told me it's blue at the eye place. They said we're gonna put this blue filter on your lenses because the screens and damage to your eyes. And I'm like, okay.
Sue says it looks pinky purple.
I'm okay with that.
And Jane says snazzy.
Thanks, Mom. Winfield. Thank you, Sue.
Where's Winfield? Is that
in Alberta?
Did you tell me that was northeast of Sylvan Lake, Sue? Just pulling over some comments here. Winfield. Where's Winfield? Chantel says,
Good morning, Drew and Dorothy. Facebook was giving me trouble, but it works now. Oh, good. Glad you got it back working. It's nice that you can hop on to Instagram if it's not working on Facebook. Facebook has been a little silly the last week or so. We've been having a few different things happen to us on Facebook as well. So, I don't know. Silly Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's going through a lot of changes right now. And it's easy to complain, but I mean, Facebook, for us, was never like a big Facebook fan, like don't love Facebook, but I realize now it's given us a lot of abilities to run our business online and to meet you guys and to make connections. And when I was starting out in business, no one was on Facebook. It was just for kids,
right?
For college students. And then, I was figure out what I was going with that. But
well, now it's like Facebook is more for the mature population, and the younger kids are going to different things. Like a lot of the kids, well, most kids aren't even on Facebook now. They're doing other things.
Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. They're trying to avoid their parents.
I'm not on Facebook. My parents are on Facebook.
But anyways, I think Facebook. I know Facebook is going through a lot of changes right now. So we're still fortunate that it is what it is right now, even though a lot of people want to complain about it. Not that you are, Chantel. I complain about it too. But I think we're pretty grateful to have it.
Sue says northwest, north of Rimby.
Awesome. I know exactly where that was if I knew where Rimby was.
Drew, who grew up in Alberta, I'm sorry to say, Drew, but he doesn't know anything else. He grew up in Calgary. And I think this is common with Calgarians. They only know Calgary. They know nothing about their province. And I met Drew, and I was like, "How you grew up in Alberta? How do you know where nothing is?" Because, like, I don't know. When in New Brunswick, where I grew up in New Brunswick, like, we know where stuff is. We know our province.
There's like 3 things in New Brunswick. How can you not?
Ask Drew things about Alberta. He's like, I don't know.
New Brunswick is like this big. Calgary is bigger than New Brunswick.
But still, know your province.
It's true though. Like, I have friends that they like, of course, like I grew up in Calgary, and then years past moved out to Didsbury, Olds, and I still have friends that don't know the difference between Didsbury and Olds. They don't know how far it is, and most of them just drive by. They're like, oh, I think Drew lives around here somewhere.
They don't even
they
realize.
Drive right by where we live. So it's funny, but it's true though. Like it's funny because I feel like California and Calgary is very similar in that regard. So I traveled all around the U.S., going to school and playing baseball, and Californians know the least that I've experienced, know the least amount of geography than any other state. So Californians know about California. That's
because
it.
When you're in California, you don't want to leave.
Well, and there's so much here, like so much going on here, you don't really pay attention to stuff going on other places.
Yeah.
And then growing up in Calgary, like Calgary was like pretty much all we needed. Like we traveled a little bit outside of Calgary, but everything you need is right there.
Right there.
So like to traveling to small towns or like trying to figure out where like Bowden was from Calgary was kind of a joke. Like, why would you go out there? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
All right, we got some comments coming on here.
Kayla's tuning in from Westlock. I'm assuming we are saying where we are at. Yes, that's right.
You got it,
Kayla.
Kayla.
You got it.
See Westlock? No idea.
And I know that I had lived in, oh gosh, I lived in Alberta for how many years?
Almost 10 years. 8
No,
years?
Longer.
Oh, longer.
But anyway, but still, I didn't live there my whole life.
I'm not sorry, I lost your train
He
of thought.
lost me. I'm just saying that my excuse is that I didn't grow up in Alberta.
It's true. Toronto says Jane's the same. Jane says Toronto's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Toronto's so big.
So big.
Suzanne says, "How did you two meet?" We met in Olds, and Dorothy fell in love with me first time she saw me.
Liar.
Yeah, we met in Olds. So that Dorothy came from the West Coast. I came from Calgary, kind of. After traveling the world, Dorothy came from New Brunswick, and then we met there, and the rest is history. Okay, Sue's breaking it down for us. Sylvan Lake, Rimbey, Winfield. Oh, so you and who's from Winfield? Oh,
Sue is from Winfield. So I'm assuming if you keep going west, that's what she's telling us. It goes Sylvan Lake, Rimbey, Winfield.
Ah, okay.
I'm assuming.
Is that
Did
right?
I assume correct, Sue?
Is that right, Sue? And then, oh, okay. Suzanne said Windsor, Ontario. And then,
Thank you, Suzanne.
Don't feel bad. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Did you guys go out there for a job? Did Brett get a job out there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like Olds is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So Kayla was in Olds, then she moved to.
I don't know
Winfield?
if I'd quite say that. Well, Olds is like in a direct line
Okay.
between Edmonton and Calgary. I don't think that's the middle of nowhere.
Well, if you think of like a bigger location like Calgary, or think of a Calgarian, then you have nothing, and then Red Deer.
You know what else is hilarious though? Like, because we know so many people in Calgary, and like we had said, like normally Calgarians stay in Calgary because you have everything you need. But anyway, they think that Olds is so far.
Yeah.
So far
But
away.
they don't know, right? They just think, oh, it's outside of Calgary? So far.
Thank you for coming all the way in for this. Like if there's like an event like I don't know, birthday party or whatever. Thank you so much for coming in for this, right? We're like, it's so far. It's hilarious.
These are my good friends I grew up with that we're talking about right now. They like have no idea where we live. They probably think LA is just as far as Olds. Anyways,
Okay.
we got
Kayla says 45 minutes northwest of St. Albert.
Oh, yeah, St. Albert.
Oh.
Where's St. Albert? Around
St.
Edmonton,
Albert's
right before Edmonton.
No. It's on the St. Albert's east side of Edmonton, correct? So then she would be northwest. Does that make sense? I'm very bad at directions. It makes sense in my brain, but then I try to explain, and it doesn't come out making sense at all.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's where we get lost in translation. Drew and I, terrible, like, navigating partners. We can't navigate out of a wet paper bag. That's what my mom always says.
I'm not thinking you can navigate out of a wet
You
paper
can
bag.
find your way out of a wet paper bag. Anyway, it must be a New Brunswick thing. But anyway, I think it's the communication, because I know in my head what I want to
Dorothy's
say,
dyslexic.
and then it doesn't come out that way.
That's what the problem is. She doesn't know who she is, or was never like diagnosed, but she'll like write things backwards or like put different words in sentences, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And it'd be like much more easier if she like knew that from the beginning. Like sometimes my words are mixed up because I'm dyslexic.
I don't need a label though.
Don't label me.
But I don't know. Like Drew jokes about that, but I did struggle, with reading as a kid.
You did.
I do.
Sue says, I think you had too much sun, Drew. It's possible. Well, it's possible. It's true. That'd be a good excuse for my geologically challenged brain.
Geographically.
What's geological?
Geology is rocks! I'm like,
Can't even weed.
dinosaurs, bones, rocks, fossils.
I'm not very good at those either, so maybe it's that one too.
Oh gosh.
We have not been drinking this morning.
Just green tea. This is only green tea in our cup.
We're high on life. You know what's funny is like every once in a while we'll like meet friends in the morning and we're like, this is how we are. Like we were up at 5:30 or 5. But here it's almost 7 a.m. And then we have friends that are like, "Nyah," like don't want to talk to us and like, what are you guys laughing at? Do you know what time it is? It's like this all the time. Unless it's in the evening, then we get a little bit tired.
That's funny, like, because we go to bed quite early, but we're up at 5. So we're usually winding down 8:39. Like, winding down and then bedtime. But, anyway.
Chantel says I work in St. Albert.
Oh, I didn't know that, Chantel. That's awesome.
St. Albert.
Northwest.
Excuse me?
It's northwest. That's what Caitlin just said.
No. Where? Oh, northwest.
We asked her where St. Albert was. She said
it's
west.
northwest.
Northwest.
Oh, I thought it was southwest. What's right before Edmonton? Isn't there something?
Leduc.
Leduc?
Nisku.
Oh, man.
Leduc, Nisku. I used to drive Edmonton to Olds quite a bit. That's kind of how I landed in Olds. Was I used to have family living in there, and I used to drive from Edmonton to Olds quite a bit because I didn't have any family in Edmonton, and it's a bigger city. Of course, I made some friends and things, but I felt more of a connection to Olds at the time because I could go and visit family there, and then Drew and I met there. So I used to drive that highway quite a bit. So I know some.
So you should know.
I know some stuff between Edmonton and Calgary, but just not east or west.
What is St. Albert? Is it like a town? Is it like
no? I think
Airdrie?
It's maybe comparable to Airdrie, but it's
St.
a
Albert,
city.
So it's a city. So
yeah.
So it's not Edmonton.
No, it's a separate part of Edmonton.
So it'd be like Airdrie. All right, team, help us out. Is St. Albert like Airdrie? If it was Calgary?
I think pretty close.
Is there a break, like a separation between Edmonton and St. Albert?
Yes. I've been to St. Albert.
I was asking you. I don't think you know.
Well, see, because my cousins, they used to play hockey in Fort Saskatchewan. So they, like, that Drew, which is really close to Edmonton, too. So they would, like, drive I would drive to see them in some of these places, so I should know, but I don't. The end.
Fort Saskatchewan gets me, too.
Because it's called Saskatchewan, but it's in Alberta?
Yeah! Fort Saskatchewan should be in Saskatchewan.
Don't get them going, guys.
Who named Fort Saskatchewan in Alberta?
Someone from Saskatchewan!
Doesn't make any sense. I always thought Fort Saskatchewan was in Saskatchewan. Just makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, so Kayla says yes.
Only separated by the highway. Like Airdrie.
What do you mean it's separated by the highway? It's like a highway going through it? Only connected by the highway?
I don't know. Don't get lost in your words. Let's get to our topic, I think.
That was fun.
I'm fine to hang out, but I don't think you guys came in to listen to us talk about that.
I think they did.
Maybe they did.
Okay. Oh, not as far.
Not as far.
Okay. So, sleep, and why don't you share with getting back from Sri Lanka?
Oh my gosh. So, when we were in Sri Lanka, we...
Okay, almost. How are they going to hear with your hands in your mouth? Get out!
When we were in Sri Lanka, we ate food that we wouldn't normally eat. And I think sometimes when you're traveling, you have to be accepting of that, right? I mean, the food was phenomenal. And the meals, like the lunch, dinner meals, so fantastic. But they had a lot of items that, like breakfast items, sweet treats, things like that, all made with sugar. Even their smoothies, for example, sugar. Which I'm not exactly sure why, because their fruit is so tasty. I don't know why they add sugar to their smoothies. We made a lot of our own smoothies, but still, we were consuming sugar on I would say, a daily basis, right? Multiple times a day. They put sugar in their tea, which we finally had to say, okay, like, no sugar, please. But it just, sugar goes in everything, which we weren't used to. But you adapt and you, what do you say? Like, when you're traveling, you kind of have to make some exceptions to your everyday a little bit.
We're pretty good at that for the most part. Like when we go, like for example, we don't eat a whole lot of meat, but we go to someone's house if they're having, like we don't eat, like if we go to someone's house and we say they're having chicken, like okay, we'll have chicken. Like we rarely buy it. Maybe in the summertime barbecue we buy it a bit more. But for example, if they're making meat, we'll say, or we have like a little piece.
Yeah.
Instead of being, oh no, I don't eat that. I think that'd be a bit challenging. So when we were going to Sri Lanka, we knew that there was we need to make some like adjustments or some exceptions. So sugar was one of them. Well, first of all, we didn't realize how much sugar they had in their diets.
Mm-hmm.
So like for the first week, we were like, okay, like sugar and tea, sure. Like we didn't know what was in there first, and like, wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Even the kids are drinking tea. And then we drank it. We're like, whoa! No wonder they drank it, because there was sugar in it, right? And anyway, so that was for a month, right?
We were there for a month.
And when we got back,
just wait.
Okay.
I just want to mention that we were there for for the first week there was sugar in, like sugar here, sugar there, like sugar and tea. So after the first week we had to be. I was like, and I told Dorothy, I was like, I can't handle this. I said, like, I don't want to be rude, but we got to start saying something.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have sugar and everything. So we started saying plain tea. So no sugar, no cream or whatever. They don't really use cream.
No.
But so we started saying plain tea. Like everywhere we went, plain tea. So that was one thing. And then for the most part, we did a pretty good job of avoiding sweets. Like we just say no, thank you, or we'd have like a small piece and then move on, and like have more fruit, for example. So we had to make that adjustment. Otherwise, it would have been a month of it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be functioning properly.
Yeah.
Today still. So that's what I wanted to mention before you got past Sri Lanka.
Before it was over. So when we got back from Sri Lanka, we were most definitely in like a withdrawal, or we had definitely been addicted to sugar when we got back, which was tough. But then, this is kind of how we how we kind of came up with the topic for the show, because we noticed that because we had been having sugar, then other cravings pop up in our, on your mind constantly. So you have all these. Well, you were having cravings too, right?
I had cravings, but you know what the thing is, I don't remember it. Like if I had cravings like this before ever, it wasn't for years. I don't know how you were.
Yeah.
But
well, I think as women, because our hormones are so wacky, I think we experience. I don't want to separate men and women, but I do think we experience cravings more so, because of our hormones.
Yeah,
and monthly schedules.
Can't exactly comment on that one.
So, it's normal for me to have monthly cravings.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna say you don't. All I was saying is that I haven't experienced cravings like that for years or ever before. Excuse me. So when we went there, so many times they would make us like a dessert, for example, and it was all like sugar. And I thought it was interesting that sometimes they would make these like a big like plate of desserts and they wouldn't eat it. They would just make it for us. Like, oh no, we don't eat that, or we don't want that. That's for you. Which is super nice, but I just thought it was funny. Like, if you're gonna make it, why don't you eat it?
But culturally, that's what they do. Is when they have guests, they make a ton of food. First of all, but then your guests sit down and eat, and the host.
That's neat.
Just stands and watches, basically.
Well, I think They more like wait on you. Like,
Well, yeah.
so they're like, oh, do you need a napkin? Do you need a drink?
Yeah.
I think that's
But
traditional.
they kind of stand to the side. They don't sit down. Like here, it's tradition that you all, like the host and the guests, all sit down together and eat. But they didn't. They either ate before or after the guests.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So my point is,
sorry,
that after we got back, I went through like these crazy like sugar cravings, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't really remember experiencing this before. So like everything looked like good, like chocolate bars and candies and cotton candy and Slurpees. It was like everything. I was like, oh my. I was like, oh, I wonder what that tastes like. Oh, or I was like eating a healthy meal, like preparing a healthy meal, and I was thinking about something else, like something else sugary, which never happens. So it was almost like, I felt like it was almost like the first time I was experiencing what other people, like maybe some of our clients or fans or followers, when they're like, oh, I have sugar cravings, like, I just don't eat it. It wasn't really a big deal for me, but it was like a nice chance for me to be able to relate to people that struggle with cravings on a regular basis, and help to understand it better.
And it's funny how the more you have those things, like those sugary things, the more that you can't, it's harder to get away from. And then we're noticing after the fact, the more we got back into our regular routine and our regular way of eating, we stopped thinking about those things after a while. But it was hard to get over that hump.
So if you guys have any craving, like, let us know about how your experience is in the comments for cravings. Like, what do you crave? And how do you deal with it? So maybe start off with, what do you guys crave? It'd be nice to know like what your struggles with. Like for us, for me, like I understand that people say I crave this. Like maybe some women say I crave chocolate, for example, or I crave what else? I mean,
well, it's usually between salty and sweet, right? A lot of people like are sweet cravings, so like baked goods and chocolates and things like that. But then some people are salty, like chips and crackers and things like that. So
okay, yeah. So what I was saying is that usually it's one.
I crave both.
Usually it's
sweet
one.
And salty.
Are you done?
I'm done.
So usually it's like something. Usually it's like chocolate, for example. Like I'm craving chocolate. So whatever it was, like for me, it wasn't. I was just craving sugar. That's what I dealt with, and I was like, it was like this crazy, like you can't stop thinking about it. Like almost kind of takes control of you. Like I need to have that, and that was just an interesting sensation because I don't really remember going through that.
Oh, and you know another one is carbs, like
what is it? Sugar.
Carb cravings, like pastries and breads and
like bread and pasta craving.
Pasta cravings.
Yeah. So there'd be the sugar in the bread and pasta.
I would think so, yeah. But still, like, that, it's not like a sweet thing, like a chocolate sugar craving. It's like a hearty carb craving. I get those.
Jane says the more sugar you eat, the more you crave sugary foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, and for us, you know, like, for example, when we say, like, here's a healthy snack, like, try this, like, that's okay. And then someone's like, oh, well, if I have that, then I can't stop eating it. But it's so, like, I suppose it's one thing if you cook, like, a dozen healthy muffins and you eat all of them. That's one thing. But if you have 2 or 3 muffins in one sitting, like, one's probably a good serving size. But if you have 2 or 3, it's not like you're going to, like, Krispy Kreme and eating 10 of those donuts.
Yeah.
But, like, if I have 2 bites of Krispy Kreme, I'm like, ugh. It's like all sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know. Dave would know. Because it's in the U.S.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme is U.S.
We had one in Calgary one time, but it didn't do well for some reason. Anyways, let's see what Dave said. Soda. What kind of soda, Dave? And how often do you have it? And then Chantel said,
I crave sugar foods. I tried to have tea with honey to help satisfy. That's a good idea. Or one thing that really helps me is to have like protein balls or something in the fridge, because it really does satisfy. Like when you have because there's honey in them, so honey or maple syrup. So if you have something already prepared in the fridge that's healthy, you can just grab it. It's already made, and then it helps satisfy.
I said we put up on the Complete Truth Protein Facebook page, and I put Dorothy made these protein balls, and I said here's a little challenge for you. Put these in the fridge, and every time you open up the fridge, try not to eat one. Because they're so good, and I was doing that. That's why I put the post up. I was like, open the fridge. I was like, oh, I'll just have one of those. And then I come back an hour later, open the fridge. Oh, well, I'll just have one of those. So like every time I open the fridge, you have to have one. But the thing is that that's good for you. You can have that, and that'll fight cravings. It won't, how do you say, encourage the sugar cravings because you're having something satisfying. It'll satisfy your sugar because it's natural. And then it will also energize you because it has healthy fats, it has complete truth protein, and it has all kinds of nutrients in it. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to worry about the sugar cravings. It'll actually help with that. So those protein ball recipes are pretty awesome.
I think in your brain, like, it's like sweet is sweet. Do you think? Like, I mean, chemically, our bodies know when it's sugar and when it's not because the reaction is so much different when we have a sugar to when we have, like, a healthy sweetener like honey, for example. Like, our bodies know. But do you think, like, I kind of think our brain is like, oh, sweet is sweet. So it'll, like, kick in, like...
I think so.
Like, so if you're... what I'm trying to say is if you're having a sugar craving and have something with honey in it or maple syrup in it, I think it satisfies the brain.
Let's see what Chantel says. Chantel said, I try to have tea with honey to satisfy. So does that help, Chantel? I'd be interested to know. I feel the same way, though. Like, I feel like if you have something sweet, regardless if it's healthy or not,
then you stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, your brain's like, I got what I wanted.
Right.
And then your body's happy too.
Right. You want to read Amber?
Amber says, I crave cinnamon buns sometimes, so I make my own and freeze them and pop them out when needed. They are approximately half the calories and use healthier sweeteners. Use them for an occasional treat. Yeah, it's always great to make your own treats for sure. And one of the big reasons I like to make my own healthy treats is because then I'm in control of what goes in them. If you buy a pack of cinnamon buns, for example, at the grocery store or wherever, at the bakery, you don't know what's in them, right? And same goes like for muffins. A lot of us are conditioned to that muffins are bad for you. Well, it's because if we pick up muffins somewhere else, they're usually white flour, white sugar, butter. But if we make them at home, we can make the changes to make healthy muffins. But then we can take away that guilt as well. Because if we have a nice flour, for example, say you have complete truth protein in there as your flour. Say you have honey in there and coconut oil as opposed to all those unhealthy things. Well, those things, those healthier versions, are actually going to help fuel your body. And it's not going to create those cravings or those negative side effects. So you know what? You can take the guilt away that way as well.
Jane jumped on here and she says Lay's potato chips, Pepsi, and a crispy crunch chocolate bar.
Heavenly.
Wow.
Those are your cravings.
I haven't had crispy crunch in a long time. Do they still make those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Jane. Do you do anything that helps fight those cravings? You had Lay's. You like the Lay's, didn't you?
Lay's potato chips?
Yeah. You like them?
Yeah.
I like potato chips. I'm a potato chip guy. I like to have looked at the clean ingredients. So like they're still processed, and many times you can find some baked, but many times they're deep fried. But you can get a better quality oil, for example. You can get cleaner ingredients. You can get them without sugar, or even those synthetic or fake sugars that aren't clean. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having chips, for example, even if it's Lay's once in a while. But I think that you can find healthier options. And then, of course, like in our next Cooking with Dorothy, she's going to be teaching you how to make kale chips. So you get that crunchy
sensation.
Thank you. You get that, and then you get it's a lemony, and I don't know what recipe you're making, but you can make it.
It's a secret. Cooking with Dorothy.
So when I made it, I put lemon and sea salt on it, and it fights the cravings for me. And I'm like, oh, I could eat some chips right now, and there's kale chips there, and I could eat a stack of them, and then the craving for kale chips are gone.
For regular chips,
yeah,
because you ate your kale chips, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm not a huge chip eater, but if they're there, I'm gonna eat them, and that's another thing. So like Drew is a pretty, like, he likes chips. So occasionally he'll buy chips, but if they're sitting there and if he's crunching on some, I'm gonna eat some, right?
I think most people are like that.
So that's why it's important as well, is to keep these high craving foods out of the house as well. And like Drew said, like occasionally if you want a small bag of chips, well, like, or a small portion of chips, like, we don't really see anything wrong with that, having that occasionally. But don't, like, buying them on a regular basis, like with your weekly groceries or whatever, like, if you are, like, to stay away from them, they can't be in the house, right?
Tina over here says, I love Lay's chips. What's your favorite flavor, Tina? And then we have, did I pull Dave's on already?
Nope, Dave's didn't go up yet. Dave says Coke and just drink one. Will have 2 to 3 and still be thirsty. That's my biggest problem, is drinking those huge cups from 7-Eleven or places like that.
I think that's the problem. Well, you wouldn't. So the Coke, like, wouldn't quench your thirst. Like, you could drink Coke. Sometimes you can drink like a ton of water. You need something else to, like, something like coconut water. Like, you need electrolytes, something to quench that thirst, especially if you're dehydrated. So you'll just keep drinking Coke all day. Like, if you're thirsty, for example.
Yeah.
If you're drinking it for sugar purposes or taste, that's a bit different. But that's the challenge. Like, and so, for example, like, if I buy a bag of chips, I'll put that bag of chips in a small bowl, and I'll be like, mentally, I'll say, like, this is all I'm having, right? Doesn't always happen. Like, sometimes I'll sit down. Dorothy's laughing at me. Doesn't always happen. Like, I can eat lots of chips, but I think in most cases, I'll get a small bowl and pour the chips in the bowl and say, this is what I'm having for this sitting. Then you put the chips away. But if the chip bag is sitting on the chair, on the couch, or wherever, and you're not even, like, paying attention and watching, it's going to be gone.
It's going to be gone.
So, you know what, Dave, I'd be interested to know if you go to 7-Eleven and you get, like, the small size and drink that, will you go back to the store again, or will you just be like, okay, that's enough? I'd be interested to know if that would help.
But what's funny is when Drew's having his little bowl of chips or something, I try to say, oh, no, thank you. Like, I don't want chips, because, I mean, of course you like them, but chips aren't, like, I'll eat chips and I enjoy it, but they're not really my thing, right? Chocolate's my thing. But anyway, but if he's over there crunching on chips, and even if I'm like, no, thank you, I'm going to be like, oh, maybe just one. But then it's like, oh, maybe one more. And so it's just crazy how it just doesn't stop. But that is why I think having a supportive, like, environment is so important, because if you are not in a supportive environment, or you don't have supportive
strong
people,
state of mind.
Yeah. And if those people around you that you're hanging out with aren't supportive, and say they eat a bag of chips every night in front of you or beside you or wherever, then it's not healthy for you either, because it makes it so much more difficult when you're not working together towards the same goal.
And that'll happen, like, if it's football season, and I'll have, like, or whatever, baseball playoffs or whatever it is, and I'll have chips, like, in the house for, like, a couple weeks, right? And then Dorothy's like, all right, we need to take a break from chips in the house. Yeah. So, like, okay, like that.
Or I'll have to tell Drew, you don't eat those around me. Like, when I'm out of the house, then, like, because I don't want to eat them, but if they're out, I'm going to eat them.
Yeah, but it's better if they're not in the house, because you open up a cupboard and you see them, or you open up the pantry and they're there. Yeah. So, like, in most cases, like, okay, we're going to take a break, and then, like, 2 or 3 months go by and there's, like, no chips or chocolates or something. You just don't put it in the house, and we don't think about it. So then you kind of creeps in, like, oh, there's a game on. I'm like, oh, there's a game. I want like a little bowl of chips. Like, that's something I enjoy. A little bowl of chips and watch the game. So then that kind of creeps up again, and you gotta be like, hey, no more. Right. Tina says, plain, but I try not to buy them. If I have them, I eat them. Yeah. No question. That's what we're talking about here, and we're the same way, Tina. Same boat here. We got a couple other comments here.
Kayla says, I use how do you say it?
Sofa.
Sofa stream with a bit of stevia sweetener, or you could add fresh fruit juice. Is that one the one that makes it bubbly?
I have no idea.
Just
The
that.
Sofa Stream?
Tell us what that is, Kayla. Because I know they have that one that I don't know what it's
Morning,
called,
Jonah.
but they have that one that you put your water in and then it makes it like bubbly, like I don't know what it does. I don't think it wouldn't carbonate
I
it.
think
But
carbonates it.
you think it does carbonate it? But anyway, it makes it bubbly.
I think Jillian Michaels was like promoting that or something.
Okay.
Amber said,
I use honey and coconut sugar for my sweeteners in my cinnamon buns. That's awesome.
awesome. And then we have Sue here.
I eat way too much honey. Example, 1 piece of bread and ½ inch of honey. Possibly 2 slices.
1 piece of bread and 1 inch.
She puts the honey on her bread.
So
like
you have some bread with your honey? You have a little bit of bread with your honey.
With your honey.
What are you having? Oh, I'm having honey with a side of bread. And Kayla said,
my pregnancy cravings has been gummies.
I like me some gummies.
I couldn't care about them not pregnant. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I would suggest you eat the orange ones.
What are you talking about?
The orange ones are the best. Or the white ones. I like the white ones.
That's not helpful, Drew.
Gummy bears? Are you talking about gummy bears, right?
You like gummy candies,
Gummies? Yeah. Oh, I guess there's different kinds of gummies, but when I think of gummies, I think of gummy bears. Oh, I love me some gummy bears.
You're not my favorite.
I was a little, like, sugar kid when I was growing up. I think, we're all kids?
I think so.
All
like,
kids love sugar? I loved gummy bears.
Who doesn't like sugar?
Right. You know what I was thinking? We were in Vegas, and like I share this with you. We're in Vegas, and there was this store called what's it called? Like the Sugar.
Sugarland, or
It was called like the Sugar. It was like something very simple. But anyways, I was like, the sugar industry is like has got to be like the most innovative industry ever, because it's like one substance. It's like sugar, like white refined sugar. Probably the most toxic thing we can put in our bodies, next to like pharmaceutical drugs or street drugs, however you want to put that. So if you look at sugar in its raw form, we've created like a billion different ways on how to consume it.
Yeah.
Like coloring, different names, different shapes, different sizes.
Drinks, food, like
yeah. And it's like it's just sugar. So when I was walking by this sugar store, and you look in the store, and there's like thousands of different ways to make to eat the sugar. And I just thought it was like crazy. To me, it was like a business mindset. It was like, and I was like, wow. I was like, the sugar industry is crazy. Like, it's one thing. It's like white refined sugar, and they've done so many different things to it that we're addicted to it and don't even know that we're consuming it in different ways. And I just thought it was like, I was almost like humbled, or like, I was like awed. I was like, oh my, wow, they've done a great job with sugar.
Kayla, I don't know, like, I don't know. That's a tough one, the gummy bear cravings. But I wonder if like fruit leather or something like that would satisfy gummy craving.
I think like if you want to get, like, if I were to answer that on a deeper level, like I think that cravings come from, what are you doing?
My ear was itching.
I'm itch. It's like that's what I felt like you were doing. Can you control yourself? My gosh.
I had an itch.
When Dorothy's not talking, she's like in Dorothy land.
I had an itch. Had to scratch.
Okay, can I answer the question?
Yes, you can.
If I were to answer the question, like cravings are a lack of nutrients. Like in the simplest form, like the easiest way I could explain it, when we crave something, it's like 90% of the time, I would say it's because we're lacking a nutrient. And then I would say the other 9% is because it's a habit. Like you eat and then you have, you eat and then you want something sweet. Or you're watching the game, myself, I want some chips. Like that's a habit that I've mentally,
conditioned yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I would say the other 1% is physically, you need to have that, maybe hormonally.
I don't know.
Okay,
1%?
all right. That's my. Just give me
That's
a second.
your opinion.
That's
Okay.
my opinion. But I would say, regardless of whatever percentages you want to look at, I would say in large part is because of lack of nutrients. So I would actually look at what you're having throughout the day and where you're lacking in nutrients to answer that question more deeply than try a healthier form of a gummy.
Yeah.
And there are actually healthy forms, more healthier forms of gummies, but I would look at your entire nutrition and see what's lacking.
Yeah. I agree with you that I believe a large part of our cravings does come from a lack of nutrients somewhere. Like we're lacking normally one of the macros. So sometimes if I'm having a craving and I look at what I've eaten in the day, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't have any healthy fats. So I'll grab a half of avocado or something because my body's telling me that it's missing something. But as far as the hormone thing goes, like, I think it's a little bit higher than 1%.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, but all right, let's have a little debate here. Okay,
I'm not so good at debates, but
No.
I'll try.
And that, like, most of except for maybe Dave, and I don't know if there's anyone hiding in the back there. Everyone else is women here. But if you were to, like, if you had a well-balanced diet and if you had all the nutrients that you needed in a day, don't you think your cravings would be much better regardless of gender, hormones, time of the month?
It definitely helps. It definitely helps when, like, so during the hormonal stage of the month, if I have been, when you're on track and you're getting the nutrients that your body needs, it definitely decreases the cravings for sure. And if ever I give into the monthly cravings, then I'm hooped because all throughout that time, then I just want more, right? So I definitely think it helps, and I'm not disagreeing that I'm not disagreeing that cravings arise because of a lack of nutrient. I'm just saying that hormones are hard. They are hard.
Okay, we get a ton of comments. Let's try to answer them so we can catch up. So Jane says, you can read that if you like.
Drink lots of water and eat a protein bar. Fills me up. That's a good idea.
Suzanne
says,
thanks, Jane.
I crave sugar things. I try to watch how much I have. I find if I have a little, it takes it away. Sometimes a Dr. Pepper or a Pepsi.
Well, I used to love Dr. Pepper. I think it's interesting. Like if you remove those like sugary drinks, like I think pop and soda, like if you remove that, I don't remember the last time I sat down and had a glass of Coke, or like a glass of Pepsi, or like I used to love Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew, and I'm not gonna say I've never had them. Like we're in Vegas, and I'm like, oh, crazy! Like I had a rum and Coke, for example, like, and that's something I haven't had in years, and it's fine. Like I'm not saying not to have that, but I think that a lot of times we resort to those because it's like a regular thing in our lifestyle. But if they're not, like if we remove them and replace them with something else, then we won't be craving them and we won't be having them in our lives.
Beet chips at Costco. They had a white bag that was only dehydrated beets. Oh, we've had those before.
We've had those.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't find a whole lot of flavor from them, but we dipped them in hummus.
Hummus.
And they were much better.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Kayla.
Yeah. My sister has been making roasted chickpeas from scratch for a healthy snack. Ooh, I like roasted chickpeas.
Awesome. I'm not a big roasted chickpea fan.
Drew thinks they're too
dry. Crumble.
Yeah.
I think it's great though. Like it's awesome. Like these are all great options. Like everyone has their different palate.
I like the chickpeas. I think it's because it's the crunchy and the salty. I find the tea does help for sugar cravings, especially after eating supper.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think that goes with one of the things that you were saying, Drew, about how we condition ourselves or have a habit. So a lot of us are conditioned to supper and then dessert, right? So I think a lot of times in the evening, that's where the sugar craving comes from, is because it's a habit or it's in the mind. Like you have your supper and then you need a dessert or something sweet. But I like what you're doing, Chantel, is you're having your supper and then the tea with honey because you're still getting your sweet after. I still find myself that way. Like the other day we had egg salad sandwiches for lunch, and we were done, and I felt like I needed something sweet after. So then I went to the fridge and grabbed a couple protein balls. But it's funny how, like, is that habit, right? Most likely, yes. Right?
That's a habit. Like most times if it's around food, like it's a habit, because there's no question. But you know what's interesting? I think you should try, every once in a while we'll have dessert before dinner. You should try, like digestion wise, it's not a great idea to have like your sugar right before a meal. Like that's not a great idea. But if you have, like, sometimes we'll be like, Dorothy will be making like a dessert or something, like, oh, let's have some dessert. Like, we're grown-ups. We can do what we want. So, but we are so conditioned because our whole childhood it was like no dessert until dinner was made. And I actually had a friend, and she raises her kids very well, and she was like, this day of the week, we have dessert before dinner because that's what the kids want. Like, like, I think that's so cool, and I like never thought about it before. And I was like, I'm a grown up. I don't have to wait till supper before I can have my dessert. So every once in a while, we'll have dessert, like our dessert, whatever Dorothy would make. If it's like some kind of like.
Well, sometimes it's muffins, sometimes like healthy muffins. Sometimes it's avocado pudding. Sometimes, and we don't always have dessert.
Yeah, and that's another condition. Like, it's rare that we have like a made dessert. I think like most of us growing up, it's like you have your dinner or supper, whatever you call it, and then you have dessert. Like, you have that, and it's been conditioned for so long. So many times we don't have any kind of dessert at all. But anyway, let me finish my point here. Try to have your dessert before your supper one night, and just see how it goes. Like, see how you enjoy it. Because what we get in our head that like, oh, our parents said, you're going to spoil your dinner if you have your dessert first. And I think many times that we don't eat as much. Like, I think portion control is a major issue for a lot of people, mostly because they eat too fast and don't realize how much they're eating. So if there was more mindful eating, I think that would help. But if you have your sugary or sugar substitute, whatever it is, before your dinner, I think you're going to have better portion control, and you're not going to have so much craving after because you already have the sugar before. Anyways, interesting little experiment. If you try that, let us know.
Sue says, Tim Hortons Boston Cream Donuts, yum. Can't go wrong with that one.
Boston Cream. Kayla said
soda. Yes. It has a CO2 canister and carbonates your water. You were right, Drew.
All right.
Carbonates the water.
Let that Jillian Michael say. I know we're a bit behind here on answering comments. Thank you guys so much for your comments. We love them. Want to read that?
Jessica says, Kayla, make your own gummies. Honey to sweeten them. I'll send you a recipe. Awesome.
Thanks, Jessica. Jessica, if you don't mind, if you could drop that recipe in the comments, it'd be cool for our other listeners that might want to get a chance.
Yeah, that might want to. Or make fruit leather. Yeah, fruit leather is so easy to make. You just puree your fruit that you want. You can add a sweetener if you want, or you can just leave it, like the fruit is sweet, right? And then you just, if you have a dehydrator, you lay out the pureed fruit on the dehydrator and stick it in the dehydrator. Or you can bake it really super, super low in the oven. And then you just like spread it out on a sheet. And then when it's done and it's dehydrated, you can roll it up, you can slice it up, whatever you want. Super easy.
Why don't you make some fruit leather?
Why don't you make it?
I didn't say it was easy. I was like, you can make your own.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's always like one thing that really, like, try not to let too many things drive me crazy, but one thing that would drive me crazy is, what is those ones?
Fruit roll-ups?
Oh.
I used to love me a fruit roll-up.
Oh, those, like, fruit by the foot ones, and the kids would, like, in teaching, right, the kids would, like, open it up and, like, fling it out and, like, eat that, and I'm like, sugar. And again, like, once in a while, one of those things as a treat, that's fine, but on a daily habit, it would, yeah.
Sue says, I agree with you, Drew, about habits.
Yes.
Yeah, without question. It's just, we're like conditioned. We're conditioned around habits. Like, I would say at least 80% of the things that we do throughout the day is from a habit. Like how you get up in the morning, how you have your lunch, dinner time, like going to work, driving to the grocery store, driving home from work. Like, we're conditioned to around habits. So that's why Dorothy and I talk about healthy habits like every day, or a morning routine. If you start your morning routine and you set your day up for success, you are successful.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about having a successful day. It's successful already. So that's why we're so adamant about expressing healthy habits and helping others learn about them.
And morning routine is habit, right? It is a morning habits, right?
Yes.
We're creating those habits.
So I know Joanna's over here. I think
Joanna.
Tina might be over here still. I think Chantel jumped over on Facebook. You guys on Instagrammers, we have 30 seconds, so we have to go. Instagram gives us an hour live, so we have to let you go. You can jump over here on facebook.com/trueformlife. But thank you so much for tuning in, Instagrammers, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, bye. We're still here with you, Facebookers. We just had to let the Instagrammers go. But we'll continue. We got lots of comments here. Let's see. Leo says, I'm pulling Kayla's over here. Leo says his treat he craves is cake. I wouldn't beg to differ. Is the icing on the cake? I would beg to differ that it is the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Dorothy has a really nice, healthy recipe. Like, icing recipe, don't you?
Well, there's one that we usually don't put any icing. Like, we make the quinoa one. Actually, there's 3 that really good ones. There's one that's like a sweet potato one, a chocolate one. So you cook the sweet potatoes and you add cacao and sweetener and stuff. There's one that's like avocado pudding, but it's a little bit thicker. And then the one that we enjoy the most is a coconut one. So you take the coconut cream from the top of the can, and you can add some vanilla or some maple syrup or honey to sweeten it up. And then, of course, it has to be stored in the fridge because it'll get super runny. But you just take it out of the fridge, and then if it's a cupcake, for example, chocolate quinoa cupcake, you can just spread it on before you eat it. Is the best way.
Yeah, Dorothy's the magician in the kitchen. Check out Cooking with Dorothy Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Morning, Mom.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. And we're at the hour mark. We're going to wrap things up soon. We know you guys want to get on your day. Get on with your day. Although there's more people watching that than for the rest of the time.
Jessica says...
Oh, fruit leather.
Oh, don't make too much, though. I guess it'll give you the poopies. I'll drop the recipe for sure. I make fruit leather all the time, especially with the fruit that isn't quite getting eaten fast enough. Easy to freeze, too, and stock up for school lunches. Ooh, awesome. I like that. But, like, to freeze it, that's awesome. Because then you can have it for later. Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, we got a couple more tips for you. I wanted to mention how the sugar cravings are related to sleep.
Right.
But I wanted to mention real quick, we talked about it earlier in the show, our magnesium is doing pretty awesome. So thank you guys so much for your support with that. We produced 60 bottles, trial bottles for the first round, and sold out in a few days.
Yeah.
Then we produced 120.
Yeah.
Produced 120 and sold out again.
Yeah, in our second batch, we decided to double it because we had so many people. Well, the 60 bottles had sold out. And then we had so many people more asking to be on the waiting list. So we're like, let's double the second batch. And sold out.
So we just shipped out like 70 pounds of magnesium. It was crazy. And don't ask us the shipping prices because they're painful.
It was
atrocious. It was
atrocious.
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 It was deflating, to say the least. So
we were so excited because we were working on it for so long, for so many hours, for so many days, and then we're like, woohoo! Like, we can ship this out now, and then we're like on this high of like tired and exhausted and excited, and then we get to the post office and they give us our total and we're like,
it was like, well, it was one box, we put on one box, and then there was like this price, like, oh, that hurts. Then we put on another box, like, oh, that hurts. And then another box, and we're like, oh. So we were like up here, like all excited. And then after each box got weighed and charged, we're like, oh. So by the end of it, like, I took a nap. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like emotionally exhausted.
I was like, my gosh, we worked so hard and like everything went to shipping almost. So that was a bit painful. But anyways, we're so grateful for your support with that. The results coming back are amazing. Like Dorothy and I have our own success stories with magnesium. We had this 2 week trial group of about 40 people, and we've had so many positive comments come in. It's like so like rejuvenating and uplifting, and it's exciting. Like for us to, it's interesting. Greg, our business partner with the magnesium, he's a scientist and a chemist, and he
mathematician.
Yeah, he helped us formulate this magnesium to make it one of the. I'm gonna say it's the most absorbable one on the market. I don't see why it couldn't be. Like, there's got to be one at the top. But he was like, he's not in the health business, but he was like, we were talking about like making money and like formulate it. You have like it's a business. You have to make your margins so you can make money and be able to afford all the shipping. That he was like, well, he's like so excited. He was like, not worried about the money at all. He was like, it's so cool to develop a product that's actually helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was it was like an eye-opening experience for us because we've been doing this for 10 years now, almost 10 years full time. And that was like, I don't know, a flash or like a wake-up call to be like, everything that we do is to help people improve their health. So it was cool for him kind of on the outside to be like, hey, this is so exciting. We're helping people improve their health.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're excited about that. We really appreciate your comments and your orders and everything. We have another production that's got to go through here, hopefully next week, and then we'll be shipping out again. But
third batch.
We have another waiting list. So if you guys are interested, people are still writing in. People are still commenting, saying, "Oh, I didn't know I could get the product if I wasn't part of the trial group or if I wasn't part of the launch party." So it's open to the public now. So you guys are welcome to jump on board if you like to try it. Shoot us a message.
Mm-hmm. Jessica says, no, the bottom one. Jessica said, how do you use the magnesium? Drink it solo or do you add it to a smoothie? So it is in a liquid form because it's the most absorbable in a liquid form. That's what we found through our research. We designed it to be mixed with water, so you would take 1 teaspoon of the magnesium liquid and put it in 4 to 6 ounces of water. That's the best way to take it, is to put it in. Our cup is about this big, and sip it. You drink it slowly. That's our cup. So you'd put a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, depending on.
Start with 1 teaspoon.
You start with 1, and our intention was for.
Says Corona.
Oh, says Corona.
Stop
Put it down.
Stop showing the. I was strategic. I got this as a gift. Okay, Dorothy's making me show you guys our corruption.
Our corruption.
We got these Corona gifts, and I was like strategically putting it to the side, so
I showed it.
So I'm not advertising for Corona. Dorothy's like, this is the size.
Right here. Anyway, I'm telling Jessica how to use it.
Sorry.
And others who are listening. So that's how we designed it to be consumed with water. We wanted you to, or the intention was to enjoy it and to sip it slowly, because that's the best way that your body is going to absorb it. Now, there are some people that do like drink it solo, like as a shot. And if that's the way that you can get it down, then that's fine. But the best way is to drink it with water and sip it, slowly and enjoy it.
So there's a really nice orange flavor.
Yeah.
And then we've realized that you can put a fresh squeeze of lemon or lime in it, and it's amazing. I don't want to get your hopes too high. Like, it's magnesium, like magnesium salt in a raw form, so it's still salty. It's orangey. It doesn't taste like biting into an orange, but it's a really nice flavor when you put together the orange and the fresh lime. Like, it's fantastic. I love it. Mm-hmm. And then there's other ways. You can put in juice. You can put in smoothies. A lot of people have been putting in kombucha. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of ways to have it in your body and start seeing the benefits pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for your body to I suppose recognize and be able to process it, that's the best way that we suggest, is to put it into 4 to 6 ounces of water and sip it slowly. and then our body can process it in the best way. The end.
Are you good? So the only thing is when we talk about, I feel like I'm not sure if there's like if everyone understands the absorption rate. So
Right.
there's many different types of magnesium supplements you can have. There's tons on the market. There's cheaper ones. There's low quality ones. We have 3 in ours, and we've chosen these 3 specifically for different purposes. Like 3 and 8 goes to your brain, for example, so that can help with anxiety, depression, and mood. Just for an example, magnesium chloride is the most absorbable magnesium on the market. So ours, it costs a bit more to make because we chose the best magnesiums that we could find. So when we say that it absorbs quickly, like if you have a product, like any type of supplement that doesn't absorb, your body can't see any benefits of it. Like you can't appreciate what it actually does to your body if your body doesn't absorb it. So that's why we say our product is the most absorbable, which means you're going to get the most results from it.
Well, and one of the things too is we didn't realize this until we started our research, but there is so many different kinds of magnesium, and a lot of us who are already taking magnesium supplements don't even know which one we're taking.
No.
When we were asking people, well, which magnesium are you taking? Well, I'm not sure, right? Like I didn't even know, and we didn't really know that either. But when we got heavier into our research, we're like, whoa, like this is interesting how there's all these different forms of magnesium. They all kind of have a different benefit, and their absorption rates are all different as well. So of course the ones that are a little bit less expensive, the absorption are a little bit the absorption rates are going to change, right? So that's what Drew was just saying. Ours, we wanted the best quality one, so we chose some that were a little bit, a little bit more expensive, I suppose.
You know what? The other thing is a lot of people didn't know the benefits. Like what I said, we asked tons of questions, and I said, why? Like, are you taking magnesium? Then everyone that answered yes. Like, what type of magnesium are you taking? A lot of people weren't sure. And then, what are you taking it for? And then a lot of people weren't sure that either. Like, I heard you're supposed to take it, so I'm taking it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think it's a good thing that people are taking magnesium, but I still have to, we know that from the protein industry, from Complete Truth Protein, we know that if you have a low quality protein supplement, there's tons of horrible ingredients our body shouldn't be consuming. And it's the same with magnesium. We took Greg to the store, and he would name off, we'd pick up a magnesium bottle, and he'd name off all these things in our bodies that we shouldn't be having, like a bunch of toxins in other types of supplements. So it's important to pay attention to the quality and what actually is in your product as well. We had a couple comments in here. Suzanne says, you make it in Canada or in the States? Yeah, we make it in at the beach here. We make it in LA, that's where it's made. So, and that's a shipping issue because most of our audience is in Canada right now. Most of our customers, at least now at this point, we're looking at different areas to expand throughout LA and the US. So that actually added to the shipping charges to get it up there, which was the painful part that we expressed. We are considering having it manufactured in Canada as well, but that's something, this is all brand new. We had a trial. All we had is an idea. It took us quite a while to get it to the market, and then we're not sure if anyone was going to enjoy it, see benefits, and buy it. We saw a ton of results, then we saw a ton of orders, then we saw a stack more. So for the last 2 weeks, all we've been working on and talking about is magnesium, and it just kind of went crazy. So we're trying to control ourselves and run other parts of our business and keep up with everything it takes to develop, design, market, promote, and meet all the orders right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been crazy.
It's been a bit crazy. And then
Leo keeps saying, "Hi, Drew and Dorothy. Hi, Drew and Dorothy. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo. Thanks for joining us this morning, Leo. This is my mom. She says,
love the flavor with the water and lemon. Yeah, it's really good if you add a squeeze of lemon or lime. We've just recently been doing lime because limes were on sale. Mm-hmm. So we picked up a bag of limes, and it's really good with a squeeze of fresh lemon or lime. Jessica, can you guys PM after and send cost for the magnesium? For sure, interest in trying it out. I'm not good at popping pills. That's a good point because I don't think I'm not really good at. I always tell Drew. I think what is this piece called? But I think it's like when you swallow it. I'm like, mine's too small. Because whenever I take a pill, like we don't take pills often, but like if I take a supplement, a vitamin supplement, I'm like choking on it, and it takes me like a whole cup of water for it to actually like go down.
I would like to take a video of Dorothy like trying to take like one little pill. It's a bit ridiculous.
It might be ridiculous to some, but the reason I'm sharing this because maybe Jessica feels my pain that it's like difficult to swallow them, and Drew's like, oh, here she goes again.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people are like that, Jessica. That's why we wanted to. Well, that's
esophagus. That's the right word. I'm like, what's this thing?
Not just because of the absorption rate through liquid, but also because of we wanted to help a lot of those. So through our research, like we were researching for 8 months and then developing the product. So a lot of people didn't like the taste of the powder. We didn't want to go with powder. We know that liquid is the most absorbable form. And then we also know that a lot of people don't like to drink, don't like swallow pills. So that's why we went with the liquid form, and that's why we actually spent quite a bit of time on the flavor as well, trying to get a flavor that a lot of people will enjoy. And on top of that, we have a brand new flavor coming out.
Yeah, so it's difficult because production-wise, because everybody likes a different flavor. We went with orange because we felt it went really nicely with the magnesium. You can add lemon and lime to it, which is really refreshing.
We have citric acid in there. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Citric acid went really well with the orange.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. But of course, there's still not everybody who's going to like the orange. So we, in the second batch, we are testing out a new flavor, I suppose, and it's still kind of a secret because the people who ordered in our second batch. The promotion of 6, they got a free new flavor. So we're so excited for people to try that out.
Free new flavor.
Not a free new flavor. Sorry.
Get them disappointed
I'm mixing up my words. Not a free new flavor. They got to try as a part of their pack of 6 a new flavor. So 5 orange and 1 of the new flavor.
That's right. So we offered a special package for 6 months. So our initial bottle was only 2 weeks. Now we have a full month for basically the same price. We have a full month bottle, and we put that in a package of 6, and we ship that out at once. So the idea is to try to get people to save money on shipping for them and us, and to get your supplies. So in case we're backed up again, like we are, didn't know that was coming, they have their supply of their magnesium. We wanted these guys to have their option first.
Yeah.
So we put together the package of 6. 5 of them is the orange flavor, and 1 of them is the secret flavor. No one knows what it is.
Nobody knows.
Those ones that ordered the 6, they get to have the first crack at tasting and knowing what the flavor is, which is pretty exciting for us because we're like, we're not telling anyone. No one knows except the 3 of us. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Jessica said, "I feel like it gets stuck." Thank you! Somebody on my side.
Maybe she has an extra small esophagus too.
I know, mine's extra small.
Well, let's wrap things up here.
Sure.
Let you guys get on with your day. So we are kind of gone magnesium crazy. We do appreciate your support, and hopefully we're not putting too much posts up about it. But it is exciting for us.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about it often. We do have Complete Truth Protein still.
Yes.
That's still our main product, and I feel like that's our baby.
Yeah, because it was our first one.
First product.
Yeah. And, through our magnesium journey, we didn't realize at the time, but now, taking a step back and looking at it, we are realizing how well the magnesium and the Complete Truth Protein will pair together and just give you even more of a boost if you're taking them together, because Complete Truth Protein is aids in digestion and energy as well, and that's some of the main benefits of magnesium. So if they'll just combine so nicely and just improve your health even that much more by taking them, both of them, right?
Yeah, and that's something we talked about yesterday. We're like, could you imagine? Because the first thing people say when they try Complete Truth Protein is, I can't believe the energy I have.
Yeah.
And then you do get energy from magnesium, but I would say digestion-wise, it's probably more powerful.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, we were like, what if someone was taking the magnesium for digestion and Complete Truth Protein for energy? I think it'd be like super packed, like, it'd be amazing.
We had this like light bulb moment where we were like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if people took Complete Truth Protein and magnesium? They would be like superstars, like super like it would just be amazing, the results. We got all excited at the thought of how it could improve people's lives.
Yeah.
Taking both.
So anyways, I'm going to grab a link here for Complete Truth Protein if you're interested. In the future, we may have some kind of offer that we thought we would come up here with soon. Probably some magnesium paired with Complete Truth Protein, just to show the benefits. Like, if you put the two together, I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to people trying them together. So here's the link of Complete Truth Protein. It's on the screen now. You can click on that for more details. Here's Mom. She said,
great show. I'm off to the Calgary Stampede. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
Yahoo? Is it Yahoo or Yeehaw?
I think it's Yeehaw. Isn't it? I don't know.
No one knows.
Maybe it's Yahoo.
It's a Stampede thing.
Oh.
Like, half the population says it's Yeehaw, and the other half says it's Yahoo.
Oh. What would Yahoo be? Yeehaw is like horses, right?
Yeehaw!
You say the horse.
I don't know. They have like commercials. You never seen it? Commercials on TV.
Well, I never even had been to a rodeo before I came out here, and we've gone to the Calgary Stampede a couple of times and had an amazing time. We like the chucks. That's one of our favorite things. But we haven't been around for so long. Yeah. So I've only been to a handful of stampedes.
Mom says it's Yahoo. Yeah, well, you're a Yahoo person. I don't know what I am. I don't know if it matters. I'm just having fun. It could be Yahoo or Yeehaw, whatever.
I don't understand. What is the difference?
Okay, well, when you go to like a cowboy, like you're at the Stampede, and you're like, Calgary Stampede, yeehaw! And then some people naturally like, hey, Stampede, yahoo!
Okay.
It's like two different ways to say the same word, same expression using two different words. Okay. So some people naturally say yahoo. Okay. And some people naturally say yeah. So in the last couple of years, it was like, they were like competing. So they would go to the Stampede and they would like interview people. It was people. Like a face-off kind of thing. Yeah, and they're like, are you a Yahoo person or are you a Yeehaw person? Mm. So that's what I was talking about. You're like in the old like Western kind of movies, don't they say Yeehaw? You watch them all the time. I feel like Yeehaw might be an older one. Like older. Yeah. Saying in Yahoo would be newer age. I don't know. Allie says, how can I get my name on the list? Hi, Allie. Thanks for joining us. It's always nice to know when we have people watching. Or new people watching. Do you know Allie? Allie's my cousin. Oh, hi, Allie. I'm pretty sure you've met her. Oh, where have we met, Allie? I'm pretty sure, I don't know, family stuff in New Brunswick. Okay. Anyways, thanks for joining us, Allie. Nice to have met you in the past and again. We can definitely put you on the list, Allie. Where does she live? New Brunswick. New Brunswick. Are you still in Moncton, Allie? Or have you moved from Moncton? She was in Moncton. Yeah, we can put your name on the list. You're on the list now. Okay, we'll put you are on the list. How can I get? You just tell us. If anyone else that's watching that want to know how they can get on the list, you tell us. Like I say, I want to get on the list, and then we'll put your name. And when we have a new production come out, we'll notify you, put through payment, and then we ship your product out. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Mm-hmm. So thanks for the question and thanks for your support. We'd love for you to. We'll get you hooked up. Yeah. You know people. We actually tried to send out. We tried to send out product to family and friends as well. Our family's supportive. Yes. And understanding. So we had family put in some big orders, and we're like, sorry, family, but we don't have enough for you. For you. Excuse me. We don't have enough for you to get your whole order. So our family's awesome. Very supportive. So So, anyways, thanks for your support. Alex says she's in Moncton.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
then, what did Sasha say?
Shared this?
Sorry, get. I'm not sure what that means, Sasha.
Sasha, we're confused. Shared this learning. Oh, learning lots. Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for
Sasha.
Sharing. Yeah, it's always nice when we have people sharing our posts. It's probably the biggest compliment. Not to just come on here often or visit us, but also sharing our work. It's the biggest compliment we can get.
Yeah, and a lot of people ask us, well, how can I help? What can I do? And those things are the things that help so much, is the sharing, the likes, the comments, all of those things help so much, because without you guys to help spread the word and to share the possibilities, it would just be you and I.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, a lot of businesses spend tons of money on Facebook ads or like paid marketing. We don't. Like, I think that's important to share with you guys. Like we're a smaller business. Mm-hmm. Like, it's Dorothy and I and a few people helping out, and we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw into ads. And the other thing is I think we have a personal connection with a lot of our audience, and we ask, like, will you share this? Will you support this? And most of our audience will. And that's why we're able to run our business and be successful without spending thousands of dollars on ads. And when you see, and I don't think a lot of people know, like, if you see a post that says sponsored underneath, that's a paid ad, or someone's paid to put that in front of your face. And the other thing is that if you see someone that has like 20,000 views or 100,000 views, in most cases that's paid. Like, they've got a lot of their views through paid ads. So we don't really do that. Like, we work hard at developing great products, and we're hoping that word of mouth carries well enough for us to reach larger audiences. So that really means a lot to us and helps our business be able to succeed and find new people. So thank you guys for that. And we like to share that inside information with you, because in large part, you decide whether we're successful or not.
Yeah. So hitting that like button, hitting those hearts through the live video, like, those are small things, but they help so much. So we really appreciate that.
You know what I thought was interesting? Like, we told our magnesium group, like, you guys decide, like, if this product, when our magnesium, like, our launch group, like our launch, like the 40 people that jumped on board right away, like, you guys will decide if this product is going to succeed, if it's going to fail, if we need to go back to the drawing board and make a completely new product. Mm-hmm. So what they did was they've used it consistently. Most of them tried it, they used it, saw results, and told their friends about it. And now we have all these orders coming in because of you guys. Because
they used it, they liked it, they shared it. And then
it's not because of us. Like, we developed a product, but there's only so many people we can reach.
Yeah.
To get all these orders continually coming in, you guys did that. Yeah. It wasn't us. Mm-hmm. So that's why we try to express how grateful we are to our audience, because we wouldn't have a business without you guys. Mm-hmm. I think we should wrap it up.
Wouldn't be as much fun.
We're pretty fun, though. All the time. Right, Sasha?
Sasha knows.
Sasha hung out with us one time. That was fun. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up here. Excuse me.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you need more information on magnesium, on CTP, you can just let us know. You can send us a message, an email, whatever works best for you. Comment if you're watching afterwards, and we'll get you hooked up with what you need, what you want. What else we have going on? We have Cooking with Dorothy on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're making
kale chips.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out, guys. We're making kale chips this week, so this Tuesday we're making kale chips, so a nice alternative to regular chippies. So tune in. What else we have going on? We'll have another live next week.
Friday morning live next week. I think that's it. Yeah. Like, we're gonna have lots of videos. Like, if you ever miss videos, or if you're newer, like, I'm not sure how much Ali comes on. Sasha's newer to our audience. We have all these videos. If you're interested, we have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. So youtube.com/trueformlife. So you can check us out there. And then I just dropped a link to our magnesium. I'm pretty excited about about this blog post. I could share the screen, Dorothy, if you're not going to freak out.
Well, I'm not going to freak out, but you did tell them that we were wrapping up.
Oh, we're leaving. Okay.
But it's okay if you want to do quick share.
Okay, quick share. So this is our This is how we developed. Greg put this together. Actually, talks about a bunch of different magnesiums at the top.
Can they see that?
Yeah, they're looking at the screen.
Okay.
Right,
are we still in the corner?
This is us.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Can they see us?
Yes, they can see us.
And they can see the screen.
Oh my.
Oh my.
So this is the blog post.
So cool.
And this is some of our members that helped us launch. That's Jenny. That's Ben. It is safe for kids. He's a young lacrosse player. Christy's in there. So this is a really cool post we put together. This is some testimonials that came in. And then we have more details. We have our actual label so you can see exactly what's on it. And then if you're interested, you can let us know as well.
Yeah, I think the blog post is super cool to know know more about the 3 types of magnesium. Trimag, there's 3. The 3 types of magnesium that are in it and why we chose those 3. So if you want more information about that, definitely check out that blog post because it gives you that information there.
Yeah. Okay, we're out of here. Sasha says, yes, I do. Y'all are wonderful.
Aww.
You guys are pretty awesome.
You guys are awesome.
You guys actually kind of made our night.
You did.
If you didn't invite us to come and hang out, we just kind of wander around. We don't really get crazy and dance like you guys do. No, Sasha was with us and like we were hanging out, and they like kind of invited us to do this hula hoop thing, and we were like kind of in the middle of the stage, like messing around with like hula hoops and like dancing and stuff. It was cool. Like we haven't done, not something we do regularly, but we had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun, and then the piano bar. Oh my gosh, I love the piano bar.
And Dorothy will jump on any piano bar bandwagon.
Yeah.
Because she thinks she should be singing in the piano bar.
Because I was a performer in my past life. I was! So then that comes out in me when I get to like a piano bar or like a karaoke bar or something. I'm like, let's perform.
It's go time!
And Drew's like, you are not the performer.
She's like sings louder than the performers. To the songs, like everyone's singing along.
Like live music, I just love live music. Like, anyway. So, but Drew's like, you gotta remember, you're not the performer. I'm like, oh, but I
am. All right, guys. Suzanne says, have a great day. I'm out of here. We're out of here, too. Thank you guys so much. We so much appreciate your support. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Friday. And we'll catch you later on online somewhere.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We will catch you later. Bye.